Welcome to the Shabby And Man podcast. We are partners, parents, podcasters, broadcasters,
and everything else in between. Good morning, hello, good evening. Oh, yeah, I've just realized that people hear podcasts all around the world at different times.
That's true.
So we really don't know whether they're listening or you're listening in the morning or you're listening in the evening.
Or indeed if you're listening on the day we have recorded or you have downloaded it and you're saving it for the commute like many people do.
Or if you're even listening to it at all. Someone just told you about it and you said, yeah. But what a week and a month it's been. We've been away for a couple of weeks, I think. And so much has happened. There's been COP26 in Glasgow, the climate change. The Indian farm laws have been repealed recently. Yeah. What else has happened? Oh, of course, the big story was that racism raised its ugly head. Whether it was in Yorkshire.
Or Kyle Rittenberg in America.
I think he was let off.
Yeah.
Was strange. Plus, I think Bollywood movies are back in town.
Bollywood movies are back on the big screen after almost a year and a half, 2 years.
Now, when I say back in town, I mean big screen only.
Yeah. So it's I think, and also let's not forget that we're just about a month away from Christmas, right? So it's already feeling quite Christmassy.
Virtually a month, yeah.
It's
actually become very Christmassy.
Yeah.
When I went out yesterday. The lights are on everywhere in all those big streets. You know, the ones you see on the Monopoly board?
Yeah.
Leicester Square, Regent Street, Oxford Street, full of lights.
Yeah.
And if you walk into the shops, the songs have started. You know, we're just waiting for Mariah Carey.
Have you heard Last Christmas yet? I haven't.
No, I haven't either, actually.
I haven't heard any Michael Bublé either, but I know what you mean. All those festive songs are already on
you haven't heard Michael Bublé?
No, I haven't.
You must go out a bit more then.
Yeah.
All over social media, I keep seeing this video.
No, I mean in a public place, in a supermarket.
I keep seeing this video where he keeps changing Christmas jumpers.
Yeah.
He's got some Christmas jumper song or something.
He's released a Christmas song after, I think, a year and a half after lockdown. And obviously, Michael Bublé is the unofficial king of Christmas music, at least for the last 10 years, I feel.
No, what?
Chris Rea Driving Home for Christmas is gone now. It's another generation. Last Christmas and all those.
There is no king and queen of Christmas. It's just Mariah Carey, full stop.
No.
And then I think you have my favorite Slade, Wizard. Oh, I wish it could be Christmas every day.
Then the Fairy Tale of New York or whatever it is. That's another one that you keep talking about. See, that just betrays your age. I don't think people of this generation would know any of those songs. But yeah, Christmas music, that's a big thing. What?
Well, forgive me if I don't know the latest BTS Christmas song.
Yeah, you don't, possibly. Me neither. But what are the signs? For some people, it is the Christmas ads that they talk about incessantly. I know about 6, 7, 8 years ago when John Lewis started doing his big Christmas ad, I remember 2-3 years I really followed it and it meant something. But after that, I completely lost interest.
It's a very big occasion every time John Lewis does an ad.
Yeah.
Though even I thought this time it was a bit...
for the last couple of years.
There's nothing that exciting.
Last couple of years they became extremely politically correct and they started doing things which were, which tried to give a deeper message as well, besides just whip up the Christmas...
And I think one of the good things they used to do is that, I don't know if they still do it, they get a very famous song and get someone else to sing it. A re-version. Yeah.
Also Christmas packaging in everyday things. Your loaf of bread has...
Santa made on it.
And all those things. So I think it's... But anyway, so we are in the thick of things now and the Christmas lights are up all over London. We'll get to that. Let's start with something that happened, it concluded about a week or two ago now, COP26. And I think...
I have to be honest, confession time.
Yeah.
I didn't really follow it. I appreciate climate change. It's a big thing.
Yeah.
And I know that it's a very important thing. I also know that India and China in the last minute kind of swerved and said that it's not going to happen. We can't just reduce coal.
Yes.
We'll have to reduce it gradually.
Yeah.
So I'm aware in the back of my head, but I really don't know what was going on.
I probably would not have followed it this avidly had it been in any other country. But because it was in Glasgow, because Greta Thunberg was, she traveled to Glasgow and she has become such a force to reckon with over the last 2 years. I don't know if you're aware, but every Friday, she started this 2.5, nearly 3 years ago, every Friday she would protest outside the government buildings. and she called it her Strike for Climate Action Friday, no school day. And when she started out, it's just her, because there are so many documentaries, it's a well-documented fact. When she started out, it was just her and two friends. And how that has now snowballed into a global movement, and I think the next generation, Greta Thunberg's generation, is not going to just sit around and wait for governments to pass laws and say that, okay, let's do this, let's do that. They are going to galvanize the rest of the population into action, which is so phenomenal to see. So because COP26 happened over 2 weeks, 2 Fridays running, Greta staged her Strike for Climate Action Friday protest in Glasgow, and it was amazing to see how people had travelled from the four corners of the world, especially the young people. And I have so much faith in them. So on one hand, while I'm extremely apprehensive about what we are doing to the planet and what we are leaving, not to our grandchildren, forget that, to our children, right? Because all these calamities, climate calamities are manifesting themselves in front of our eyes. But I'm also, on the other hand, so hopeful about the young generation not taking any of the bullshit from political leaders and taking matters into their own hands, and making sure that, this story doesn't die down, that it is in the headlines every single day.
Children are the future.
They absolutely. And that's why I felt that, it was a mixture of, it was a bittersweet memory, I think, of 26, that while they were hoping to really influence governments to make massive changes, of course the cynics said none of that is ever going to happen.
So was it a failure, was it a success, or it was just
I think it was
till next time, let's carry on?
It was more of that, but with each successive climate conference, I think the followers become the people who are really passionate about the cause.
There's more of them.
The numbers go up, the noise becomes that much louder, and governments are finding it increasingly hard to ignore what the implications are.
And I think if you look back 10 years, just 10 years ago, every debate there'd be at least, to balance it, there'd be one climate denier.
Yeah.
Those sort of things have stopped now.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think people agree.
It was a big blow to the climate movement when the most powerful country in the world, America, had Donald Trump as president, because he was the biggest climate denier. And he kind of stopped a lot of aid. He made sure that everything that the movement had achieved virtually was, kind of stopped, came to a standstill, because America is such a powerful country. Like it, hate it, they dictate the way the world, moves economically, at least. So yeah, it's one of those things, you're right. Until next time, let's see what happens next time. But I think a lot will change between COP26 and the next summit that they have. Only because, like I say, young people whose lives are really at stake here. Let's face it, when our children are our age, this is when they're saying all these things will happen, right? Most of the things that you say, this will stop, this will happen, are all in the next 20, 30 years' time, when our children are going to be in their prime.
You mentioned Greta.
Yeah.
That just clicked in the back of my head, Malala. Must say congratulations to Malala for getting
married. Yeah.
Did she get engaged or she got married?
She got married. She got married to someone who's part of the Pakistan Cricket Board, I think, right?
Yeah. Good looking guy.
Yeah. And even this, I have to say, I mentioned it in passing on my radio show about Malala getting married, and I feel that it takes a lot of courage for someone to be shot at point blank range and then to take on the
no, she's taken on the feminist. No, because she took on the feminist movement and said, she has made quotes about, I don't want to get married. Yeah, I don't believe in this. So she said, I've changed my mind as time goes by.
Yeah, so then she got a lot of flack as well, as people
did.
do. People in positions of power do. There'll always be a section of people who will not agree with what you're doing. And someone sent me a message on my radio show saying that I work in education as well, and I feel that I should get the Nobel Prize. It's just because she got a lot of publicity because she took refuge in the West. Let's face it. She got medical help here, she lives here, and all of that.
I know, there's just many people love her. There's a huge section that really can't stand her.
Yeah, but it's just one of those things. Other things happening as well. You mentioned the farm laws in India being repealed. This happened on the auspicious occasion of Guru Purab.
Yeah, Guru Nanak's birthday.
Guru Nanak's birthday last week. Yeah.
And let's face it, it's been a whole year of these farmers protesting.
Yeah.
On the Haryana border, standing there in the freezing cold.
Yeah, somebody put the stats together and said that over 360 days of protests, over 600 farmers dead, and a defeat made possible through the sheer will and determination of India's farmers. So they're looking at this saying.
I think someone said that was one of the biggest protests in the world. Yeah, it was huge.
And obviously, people are casting aspersions on Modi's intentions here, because they're saying that
obviously elections are around the corner. I think there's elections in Punjab and in UP.
Yeah. So it is, like he likes to go out and say that everything I do is for you, is for the people of India, and none of it is actually motivated by anything else. So that kind of goes out of the window slightly. Also, how do you feel about all these cities in India suddenly being renamed and, kind of...
You mean from Muslim names to names?
Like, Allahabad, Faizabad.
Yeah, what is Faizabad? Is it Ayodhya?
Ayodhya, yeah.
Where's Ayodhya suddenly?
Yeah.
It's Faizabad.
And now I believe recently...
Prayag?
Yeah, Prayag is Allahabad.
What's the full name? Prayagraj,
yeah. And I believe there's an iconic railway station in Bhopal which is called Habibganj, which has now been renamed to Rani Kamlapati railway station or something like that.
I'm just after Rani Kamlapati.
Yeah, some people might say that, you're trying to rewrite history, and I think they have a point. If it's... Okay, from his point, he's probably saying that we're reverting to what it was before.
Is it rewrite history or trying to erase history?
Erase history, yeah.
No, it's a very slippery slope.
Yeah. Because people are pointing out, historians are pointing out that, while he's defending it by saying we're reverting to how it was before India had Muslim rule for centuries, let's face it, not a few years or decades, right? But,
some I agree with, Madras, Bombay, they're all names that the Britishers gave.
Yeah.
Because they couldn't,
Chennai, Mumbai.
The lazy ass couldn't say the proper name,
Yeah.
They couldn't say Mumbai, so they said Bombay.
Yeah. So, but I don't know, but that was again, Bombay had its own identity, Maybe it meant something that Mumbai doesn't. Maybe Bombay was more cosmopolitan, more accepting and more, hip, let's put it that way. But anyways, so all of that is happening in India as well. You brought my attention to the Veer Das video that everybody was talking about recently, a couple of days ago, right? What?
I really liked it. Now, again, this is two camps. You got some people in India, the Kanganas and all, saying that he's such a Deshdrohi, such a traitor, laundering India's dirty linen in public.
Yeah.
But I thought it was very poignant and powerful. That in the space of 5 or 6 minutes, the premises was that there's two Indias.
Yeah.
And I love both, but I don't love both, he said, but there's one India which does this, there's one India which does that.
It is a country of huge contrasts in virtually everything. And you're right, I think it was quite clever in the way he listed not just in the field of cricket, in the field of politics, in everyday life, from petrol prices to he name-checked virtually everything. And especially now when the cricket, ICC thing finished recently, he said that we bleed blue until we play green, and if we lose to green, we turn orange. How powerful is that sentence? So yeah, even I was quite impressed, and I think anyone who's...
You had to go at politicians.
Yeah. He had to go at everyone, and I know that stand-up comedians at the end of the day are meant to make you laugh, but they're also meant to make you think. They are meant to do this kind of satire, right?
It was, it was satire. It was thought-provoking,
And he made a big deal of the fact that it was the Kennedy Center, and so anything that happens here, this is a stage where formidable leaders have been on, and it's named after such an important figure as well. So he made a big deal of that.
So if anyone hasn't heard it, you just Google Veer Das.
And if you are someone who believes very strongly or subscribes to one view or the other, and if you want to tell us, please do write to us and let us know what your thoughts are.
Something, I was just about to say something, but you were in such full flow that I thought, okay, I'll let you finish your sentence. And now it's just gone. For the life of me, I can't remember what I was about to talk about.
I thought you scribbled something down when I was saying something.
No, I was going to say happy engagement to Malala.
Engagement, wedding, shaadi ho gayi uski. Bollywood films back on the big screen.
They are? Yes, they are.
Suryavanshi is.
Did you see any?
No, I haven't been to.
We saw one on TV though.
We saw
the one with the news anchor. What's it called?
Dhamaka. Yeah, Kartik Aaryan in Dhamaka.
Bit over the top. Bit unrealistic,
bit over the top, I'll agree, but somehow it was different from what we normally see.
I'm surprised you haven't seen any movies, because left, right and centre I'm hearing all your friends talking to Rani Mukherjee one day, Abhishek Bachchan, not Abhishek Bachchan, Saif Ali Khan one day, this.
Even Abhishek Bachchan for Bob Biswas, not the same film, but They're all doing the rights.
Miss this time. You haven't.
No. I haven't warmed to any of these films. Suryavanshi, I haven't seen. Singham, I've seen. Simba, I haven't seen. It's not my kind of film at all. So this was the thing. I think Rohit Shetty was banking on the fact that people are so desperate now to go to the cinemas once again with their family and friends and watch something on the big screen that many people are saying, the merit of the film does not matter. So they're realistic reviews and they're emotional reviews. That, yay, it's so great to be back.
Sorry, I just remembered what I was wanting to tell you. You were talking about Greta.
Yeah.
And it's like a celebrity. And I was going to say that, about 2-3 days ago, I was walking past Oxford Street, just behind it, and I saw all these, what you can only describe as A-list celebrities. Here and there. I don't know. God knows what's going on.
What's sitting down together?
No, some some chatting, some in the public. I passed more than 4 or 5. Let's put it that way. And then when I came home the next day, I found out that there was recording of in the Palladium, which is just there.
Yeah.
Of Adele had done a recording of a new album.
Oh,
she'd done
it's on TV, I think.
It's in conversation with Adele.
Yeah.
Which is probably coming on TV soon.
Yeah.
So they were all there for that.
Oh, wow. So, oh God. So
I don't know why I mentioned that. It's got nothing to do with Greta.
You're talking about celebrities. Let's put it that way. Even Adele.
Do you know why I'm saying Greta?
Why?
Because I can't remember her surname for a second. Thunberg, thank you.
Greta Thunberg.
I'm talking like, she's my mate.
But now that you have mentioned Adele, even Adele has, I know, she's done her big interview with Oprah and she's done her Live at the Palladium with her friends, her English friends. But even Adele, I was reading all her interviews because, we're all Adele fans.
Yeah, she's from around the corner with a Cockney accent.
Yeah, but even she had such interesting, wonderful things to say to Oprah, where she talks about, everybody's talking about her weight. Let's face it, that's the first thing everyone's noticing, how amazing she looks now that she's, worked very hard to drop.
Many people are very annoyed about that as well.
Yeah.
Why has she lost so much weight?
Why has she
had to conform to society?
Yeah, because that was one of the reasons why they loved her so much. But so even Adele has been getting a lot of stick from people. But I thought that she was very sorted, at least in her head, about why she's done what she's done and how. Mujhe lagta hai, I feel that she would not have been able to write songs as poignant as Someone Like You if she wasn't struggling with a broken relationship, a broken heart, weight issues.
Isn't one of her new songs, Take It Easy on Me?
Go Easy on Me.
Go Easy on Me.
Go Easy on Me. It is a beautiful song as well. Coming back to Bollywood from Adele. So yeah, Suryavanshi was one of those things where people are never going to be honest about how they feel because they are chuffed, and they should be, about the fact that the business of filmmaking is picking up again, and hopefully people would be practicing all their social distancing laws, and therefore
I'm not following you. What do you mean by they're not honest about how they feel?
As in, even if it is a rubbish film, a lot of people are saying it doesn't matter, as long as it's doing the numbers and as long as we can see that
great to be back in the cinemas.
Great to be back. That is the sentiment which completely drove Suryavanshi. So I don't think any of that 100 crore club, 150 crore club really matters here, because we're not judging the film on merit. Understandable. We saw Dhamaka. For someone who has worked on television as a news anchor, talking about myself.
I just want to say, you never mentioned the fact that you used to be a newsreader once.
I used to be a newsreader on one of India's leading channels, let's put it that way, ZTV.
Yeah, I was going to say, are you scared to say,
no.
ashamed to say ZTV?
No. And I'm a radio broadcaster now, which Kartik Aaryan, in the film, of course, they showed it as
demotion.
Yeah.
The premise of the story is that he used to be a news anchor.
Primetime news anchor.
And he must have screwed up somewhere, so now he's on radio.
Yeah. As punishment, he's been relegated to radio. Yeah. That's what it is. But you're right. I'm not sure how I feel about that film, because as you're saying, there were moments which were supposed to be fraught with tension that did absolutely nothing to me, because they were saying their lines in a very staged and artificial way. I felt you didn't feel the hairs at the back of your neck standing as you would in a Hollywood film.
Rongte khade
nahi hue because वो बहुत artificial.
I watched the movie as well with you, and I think this movie is fine for Netflix. It was on Netflix, isn't it? It's fine for.
It is a Netflix film
for TV kind of thing.
Yeah.
If I had gone to the cinema and paid my hard-earned money, I would have come back feeling slightly disappointed.
Yeah, I think so too. Because there is something missing. And I know that it talks about, if you strip it down, then it talks about something which is about media ethics, right? Which is about TRPs and ratings and breaking news, and sensationalism is what drives a news channel. And I think they've taken serious pot shots at
Of course, they took it to the edge.
So there is something, I wouldn't dismiss it completely as a complete waste of time, but you're right. The fact that we were watching it from the comfort of our living room, the fact that it was only an hour and a half, 2 hours long, so duration worked in its favor in a big way. And the fact that it was radically different from any other films right now, coming out of Bollywood right now. So it was all right, I think.
There's Karthik Aaryan.
Karthik Aaryan. There's a very interesting story on the director, Ram Madhwani, that emerged. When he was talking about Dhamaka, he said that, I trust the timing of my life. He's the man who made Nirja, by the way. He's the man who made Arya, which is Sushmita Sen's comeback on digital. And Karthik Madhwani said something really nice, which really resonated with me. He said that, trust the timing of your life. He said 5 years ago in 2016, I was all set to make Arya as a full-length, proper Bollywood feature film. And right at the 11th hour, at the last minute, I was told that, for some reason, one thing or the other, investments weren't too happy to go ahead with producing the film, and everything fell through after we'd done all the prep. And he said, I was absolutely gutted. I cried for 24 hours, and then I told myself, right, let's move on. And that's when I ended up making Nirja, which won all the awards. And Aryan ke fate mein tha 5 saal baad to be a web drama and to be the comeback vehicle for Sushmita Sen's return to entertainment, as it were. So he said, trust the scriptwriter in the sky. Things will happen when they are meant to happen, and if they are not meant to happen, then maybe there's something better which is around the corner.
Talking about scripts, I can just link it with Christmas. Have you seen the new Tesco ad?
No, I haven't.
All right. So it's caused a lot of controversy. They're all Christmas. All the ads on TV have suddenly become Christmassy. Well, in this one, what's his name? Santa Claus, Father Christmas, is stopped at the border, and he has to show his COVID pass, which is fair enough. It's quite funny. He has to show his COVID pass, otherwise he's not getting in to give his presents. And this has caused a furore that's saying,
why bring religion into it?
Why bring vaccinations into it? It's nothing to do with religion.
No, as in, why
Santa
are you...
is not...
No, but they're probably saying that why are you implying as though even Father Christmas is kind of...
No, it's showing that everyone has to get vaccinated. Why are you doing that? The anti-vaxxers are up in arms. So do with the anti-vaxxers, nothing to do with religion.
All right.
So they're saying why. But someone very cleverly pointed out that technically Santa Claus lives where? Lapland. And Lapland is what? Finland. So in Finland, you have to, if you're coming from Finland, you have to be double jabbed.
If you're coming to the UK from Finland.
If you're coming to the UK. And you have to show your COVID pass. Otherwise, you have to isolate for 10 days. And that means that you won't get your Christmas present till, the 5th of January.
Oh, dear.
So it's fair enough. It makes sense. It's a good job he was made to show his certificate.
So
that's all I can say.
So kids can get their presents on Christmas Day?
Yeah, or Boxing Day.
Boxing Day.
If you're a traditionalist, when you unbox it.
Yeah, well, there you go. So that's it. We've spoken about all the things, all the big things that...
Yeah, you see, nothing was in a straight line. Nothing was coherent. We just meandering and wandering from here to there.
Yeah, because that's how it is. It's a conversation among friends, isn't it?
Yeah, good job. Look, I made notes. I wrote 3 things today. I wrote Christmas adverts, Malala.
Yeah.
Because I suddenly remembered it. And I wrote... what did I write? Oh, I've lost the other piece of thing I wrote. I wrote Farmers' Laws. Farmers' Laws, yeah.
So
I wrote 3 things more than you did.
Yeah, that's true. The next episode of the podcast will be nearer Christmas, and we'll see what happens then, because it already feels so Christmassy that I don't know. We left one thing out which happened in the last month.
What's that?
We celebrated a big birthday in the family.
I'm not that old, but thank you anyway.
Yeah, please. So our son turned 17, which was a big thing as well, but we'll talk about that another time, I think.
Big birthday is 18.
Yeah, but almost there. I mean, 18 ke hone mein time lagega kya? Blink and it's going to be, his 18th. But thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for continuing to download the podcast even while we were away 2 weeks ago for a little Diwali break. You can find us on all your favorite platforms, as you know, and we'll see you again very soon.
Till next time. Bye-bye now. Bye.